See, now to me, that button's in the worst possible.
Wow.
The second button literally makes or breaks the shirt. Look at it. It's too high. It's in no man's land. You look like you live with your mother.
That's crazy. It's funny to see how nervous and, where am I? What am I doing? I remember that night very well. We shot the show twice. I haven't seen it in a long, long time. It was funny. It was so disappointing because they didn't pick up the pilot, and then they made 4 episodes, and then they didn't pick that up either. And then when they did, they only picked it up a half order for a half a season. They really did not like the show. It was very funny. They really didn't like it. Being a comedian is the most exciting experience for me still. I never get seduced away from just being a stand-up comedian. I love that life, and I love the other people that do it. I like being around them. It's the only people I really feel comfortable around.
I love flying on planes. It's a lot of fun. They always give you that little show, the seat belts, the oxygen masks. And then I point out to you at this very vague point, the emergency exits.
That was the Tonight Show. In those days, you had to do a 6-minute set. And obviously you wanted to do the best jokes you had, but sometimes they didn't have anything to do with each other. So you had to figure out ways to connect them. Then you had to run it 100 times in front of an audience so that when you got out there in front of millions of people that I wouldn't forget anything or mess it up. So that was how we did it in those days, and those were great, great days. If you did the show and you did well, it was like things just changed overnight every time you did it. There's nothing like that today, really. One time I had to go through like every talk show appearance I ever did, and I had to watch every shot. I watched myself learning, and that was a really interesting thing to watch. I couldn't believe that you could see it so clearly from how shaky, I was like a newborn horse in the first one, and then your legs start to calm down and your voice calms down, and I learned quick. I'm from Massapequa, but I've heard of the Hebrides.
Yes, this is the Scottish, the little island. There's like 18,000 islands.
I wonder if anyone in the Hebrides has heard of Massapequa. That's a good joke, because it is the same distance. We're the same distance from each other. If I've heard of them, why wouldn't they have heard of me? But yeah, Comedians in Cars, that was so much fun. I really had no idea if it would work. I mean, I could say that about everything I've done. I have no idea it's going to work, and that's very exciting. That's what makes show business so thrilling, is you put these things out in front of a giant public, having no idea if it's any good. I thought people were getting tired of seeing people on talk shows and would like to see them in the world. I was talking to somebody last night about the one I did with President Obama, where he let me bang on the window of the Oval Office. That was unbelievably exciting. Are these washed? Let's add a new guy. How about Snap, Crackle, Pop, and Boing? Would you like to split your paycheck 4 ways with Boing? Or I could just hire Poop, Slap, and Smile, because I can replace this whole act! Like that. I always wanted to do an office comedy, corporate comedy. Offices are funny to me. You're supposed to act right around the office. Dress right and act right. So it's a great place for comedy for people to act wrong. Somebody said to me, a film director, he said, "Do you see the movie in your head? Can you see it?" And I went, "Yeah, I can see it." And he said, "Then that's all you need. Then just make what you see." And that's what we did. When you're a comedian, you really see sad faces and you go, this is my job. I have to make people smile. You just see that as your calling in life. So I thought, well, what could maybe make people happy? And going back to the 60s and childhood and Pop-Tarts and cereal and 60s toys, I just thought, think back to your childhood when you were happy and just kind of lighten the load.